Louisiana Beer Review Special Edition. Coors Banquet wins gold again at the Great American Beer Festival. Okay, it's indicating very cold. The mountains are blue. I got this 6-pack of tall cans, you know, the 16-ounce cans, for $4.59 plus tax. Came out to $5 even after paying the government. The government of various levels. Anyway, this beer, Coors Banquet, introduced in 1873, is interesting. It has won bronze at the 2014 World Beer Cup just last year, the 1995, the 2002, and 2014 Great American Beer Festival. It won silver medals at the 1989, 1994, 2001 Great American Beer Festival, and it won gold at the 2002 World Beer Cup, and the 1996, 2004, 2009, and this current year 2015 Great American Beer Festival. So multiple awards, yes, within the style, American style lager. Hasn't ever won Best in Show. They use barley malt that they say can be linked back to a gift of Moravian barley to the Coors family in 1936, and they use corn syrup as a filler or adjunct. I think at one time they used corn and rice. The hops are Chinook, Hallertau, Hercules, and Taurus. Okay, a mixture of those different hop varieties. Now, some people would say, you know, this is a crap beer, it's trash, garbage. Okay, now for this price, translated into a 12-pack, that would be like $6.88 a 12-pack. So it's not an inexpensive beer. Didn't start going east of the Mississippi River until 1976, really 81, and to a large extent, and then it didn't become available for sale in every U.S. state until 1991. So until 1991, really, it was more of a regional beer, and then they pushed hard to get it in Indiana, the last state. It's crackling, you know. I told the bulk merchandiser for Coors, I said, hey, y'all won gold yesterday. I mean, this weekend at the Great American Beer Festival for Coors Banquet. I didn't hear that. They don't tell us nothing. He told me. He said, that beer don't sell around here. He's not exactly, well, his job, I say friendly, you know, but his job is to put the beer out and do that. It's not to hang out with me. But unlike the Anheuser-Busch guy that comes looking for me, you know, hey, guess what? Guess what's coming in, or whatever. So, but the Coors guy, he's like focused on the job. Interesting also, you know, Miller Coors, the joint venture for marketing. They're not the same company. A lot of times people will say Miller Coors is a united company. It is in a way. I mean, they have employees and all of that. But Miller owns breweries. Coors owns breweries. Miller is part of S.A.B. Coors is a 50-50 merger with Molson Coors, okay? A lot of people will say Molson bought Coors in 2002. If you get on the Molson Coors website, they have a pretty detailed explanation that it was a 50-50 in the merger, and they have joint ownership. If Anheuser-Busch InBev buys out Miller, S.A.B. Miller, then Coors and Molson will go off on their own, probably would unite, I'm speculating, with Heineken International and maybe Carlsberg Group. That's just a guess. Maybe Diageo, I don't know. But there's going to be some more combinations if Anheuser-Busch succeeds in acquiring S.A.B. Miller, I can almost assure you. Coors has always been nice to me. I wrote them email or called them back in 1997. They sent me this nice brochure. Oh, 98, sorry, 1998. And now these companies won't send this stuff out. They'll just say, look on the website. They don't send out literature. I wish I had started requesting these things back in the 80s. I didn't waste, but I didn't do beer hobbying from 86 until 96 for 10 years. I started in February 96. When I turned 18 in 1986, and the drinking age in Louisiana is 18, but it's still 18. The drinking age, I said. I didn't say the beer buying age. That changed. The purchasing age changed in 87 under pressure from the U.S. government. And, okay, but it's not illegal to. It's 18 to drink, and in fact, if you're with your parents in Louisiana, you can drink at 12, pretty much. But all right, that's well known, but we don't want to let the wrong government officials find out and start harassing Louisiana. I mean, Louisiana people aren't going to care, but we don't need that. Anyway, they're talking about the metals right here in this 98 booklet. And Coors, of course, does a lot of advertising for Banquet and Light. I was trying to see if they talked about the ingredients in here, but I don't see it. It's just the history of Coors. But I'm pretty sure it used to be corn and rice. Now, they were clear bottles, of course, in the early days. And then they talk about how, well, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but they talk about how Coors used to be darker, kind of like the Batch 19 is, and then they changed it in the early 1900s, like around almost right before World War I, to this lighter version to make it more appealing. But you may or may not see Batch 19. We get it around here. It's not barely sells. Although you can get it for $6.99 a six-pack, many stores, $7.99. This does okay. I mean, I guess the guy knows what he's talking about, saying this doesn't sell around here. I know Methurn's had it for $3.99. Well, all the stores had it for $3.99, a six-pack of these pint cans for about a year to really push it, around 2013 and 14. Then it went back up to the average price of $4.59. Interestingly, also, if you see the little stubby bottles, the short neck, well, they barely have a neck, 12-ounce bottles, those six-packs are like $6.99. So $6.99 for the stubby bottles, twist caps, and $4.59 at most stores for these. So obviously this is the better value. Don't ever see Coors Banquet on draft. Never see it in restaurants. If you go to a restaurant, ask for Coors. They're going to bring you Coors Light. And some people at the restaurant seem unaware that there is such a thing as Coors Banquet. Even though there's those Sam Elliott commercials that are on TV all the time. But apparently people are just not paying attention to the commercials too carefully, and they think it's all the same Coors Light, which debuted in 1978. So yeah, this is a well-made beer. It's not something slung together. This is a major operation. Every Coors you buy anywhere in the world is going to taste the same. I mean, they're sticklers for quality control and consistency. So yeah, it's got a mild corn undertaste. The aroma is very beery. It makes sense, right? Lager beer, but it's pleasant. It's like yeast and barley, and the slightest little bit of hop resin. But these are like a wall of sound, like, you know, a Phil Spector approach. You don't really pick out different flavor notes or aroma notes. It's just that kind of presentation. It's what you would say beer. Is it head and shoulders above other mass-produced American-style lagers? I don't know. But the awards, this plethora of awards, would seem to indicate that these these awards are done in blind taste tests. When the G.A.B.F. first started, it was open, like you would see what you were drinking, and they had some problems involving Boston Brewing Companies, so they went to blind taste tests in the early 90s, and that alleviated that problem. So they're saying, okay, American style lager, and they're tasting all these different beers, and this oftentimes is winning gold, silver and bronze, but gold. And then another one that's a big winner is the Old Milwaukee, believe it or not. I saw that at the store, and it was more expensive than this. The Old Milwaukee was $5.99 for the 6-pack, as opposed to $4.59. So, would I buy this again? Obviously, I just bought it today, and not just for a review about or a discussion about the gold medal. I would buy it because it's a good beer, and it goes so well with like I'm about to have some light red kidney beans with some chopped up yellow onions, black pepper, habanero sauce with a slice of smoked sausage from up around Cincinnati, a side salad with ranch dressing and olive and all that. So yeah, it's going to go great with that. It's perfect food for that. I mean, perfect beer for that kind of stuff. Cookouts, ball games. But of course, if you go to a baseball game or a football game, you're going to pay about $10 for this can, which is not, hey, you want to pay it, go ahead. You wouldn't see me doing it. That's when I can really appreciate water. At a game, I just can't do the $10 for a pint can thing, but I go to a lot of games, but sorry. Anyway, so thank you for watching this discussion of Coors Banquet winning the gold medal. Congratulations. Last year, 2014, they won what? They won the Big Brewer of the Year award. That was Pabst Brewing Company won Big Brewer of the Year award this year. So, hey, interesting. And y'all come on down to New Orleans.